Hey guys, so I started sharing with you guys some stuff on storyboards and wireframes, and typically, at least to start with, you do those sorts of things on paper, pencil and paper. As you get a little bit more advanced, different people will do them different ways. Some professionals like to do paper and pencil, some like to do it on the computer. Some it just varies. Some will do sort of a hybrid. They might sketch out their ideas on pencil and paper, and then they might actually share it with the client, a digital version of it once they're happy with it. And so it kind of varies. I want you guys to start with it on pencil and paper, but I'm going to show you using Photoshop. And that's just because I don't currently have a mounted camera set up to be able to easily record that. So I'm going to use my Wacom tablet with a stylus, so that way I can sketch it out similar to how I would on paper and pencil. It's not exactly the same, and I could probably do it more efficiently on paper and pencil. I normally prefer it that way, but just so you can kind of see what I'm doing and how I'm thinking, I'm going to do it on Photoshop just with a brush tool or a pencil tool or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new document, and 6x4. That's what I used the other day. Yeah, that's probably okay. That should give me enough room to sort of sketch things out. I'm going to go with 600 resolution, so that way I have quite a bit of area to work in. So here we go. So I'm viewing this at 25% of its actual size. So that's not too bad. That gives me a good amount of area. And I'm going to switch to a brush. And I want it to feel fairly sketchy. It might help if I put some actual color here, perhaps. And I don't want it to be perfect black because it's normally not perfect. I'm using a pencil and stuff. So we'll go with that. We'll make the background a slight off-white, just to kind of reduce the harshness. Whoa, oops. Forgot to switch the colors. Switch the colors. There we go. Switch back. Paintbrush. Alright. So I talked to you guys already a little bit about what silly website I'm going to make first, and I'm going to make the cloud review. And that doesn't sound too nonsense now because we talk about the cloud and all of this stuff, which is really just a fancy way of saying that you're storing stuff on a server somewhere in some server form or server farm. So it's really not that fancy. We've had it forever, but it quickly became a buzzword over the past couple years. But I'm not talking about that type of cloud. I'm talking about the clouds up in the air. So let's say that you have come across some money to spend, and you're thinking about buying some nice fluffy clouds. And so I'm going to review the different types of clouds. I'm going to do a little bit of research, a little bit, just to just have some different types to review and talk about, different buyers and which clouds they found were the best deals for their money. I've got a suspicion that the cumulus clouds, the nice fluffy ones, will probably be the most popular, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to sort of, oh, I have this upside down. That might be a good idea to flip this over. I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to try to do sort of an old school layout since we're kind of talking and working in sort of an old school format. So I wish I was doing this on paper. It'd be so much easier. Just awful, just awful. This is not how I'm used to drawing. But we'll just say that we've got this sort of this page here. I need to decrease this opacity. So it can take some getting used to drawing with one of these if you're not aware. I'll give myself a little bit of a larger table to rest this on, so to feel a bit more authentic. But it can definitely take some getting used to. So we'll kind of go like this. We'll say there's kind of the side, and I've got sort of. So we'll say that's sort of the basis of my page. Looks great, doesn't it? So since you're using an actual pencil and paper, yours should look great. So I'm gonna go kind of old school here. I'm gonna have a banner on top, and I'm going to have a sidebar here, and content here, so some writing, some squiggles. This will say this will be a menu, and this will just be a big image, and we'll have maybe a little image over here. Actually, let's make this another sidebar, and we'll have little images with some little information. So little image, and my idea is that these are like links about like maybe most recent reviews or most popular cloud products or whatever. So that can be another image. We can have some more text down here, and so that's one design. Let's see, what else could we do? A little less bad. I'm starting to get the hang of this tablet thing. It's been a few months since I've really tried sketching anything with the tablet, and just like anything else, if you don't practice, you lose the ability. So what do I want for my other one? Maybe I've just got an image up here in this top part, and a sidebar here, and then maybe this is more like description and content here. And this could be, maybe this is a double sidebar with some text here. Maybe not text. I think that's a bad idea actually. I'm gonna go into my history window and go back a ways. Yeah, like there-ish. It only remembers 20 steps back. Some software will remember like way back, not Photoshop, only 20 steps. So this will be a little sidebar here. This can be sort of some content here. Let's actually go ahead and erase that. I could go back, but I don't want to undo what I just did, so we'll just erase that. And this could be like a big title, and maybe some little text, and an image here, and some text, and an image. And so this is essentially what your wireframe should look like, although hopefully yours is a little bit prettier than mine since I'm doing this on a tablet. But that's okay if it's not. I mean, not everybody is a drawer. It just has to sort of resemble your main goal, and you have to be able to understand it. And so when we go from the wireframe, after that, we will do a mock-up after that, and that's where you'll use the computer to help make sure that it's nice and pretty. Let's see what to do here. Maybe some sort of like symbol, and we can have sort of our menu. And we can have a big image across here. And so I'm going to go with sort of 3 ideas right now. As we get into more interesting possibilities and more interesting capabilities, and you start to really expand what you can do, we should be much more creative. But for now, go ahead and go with, well, you know what, go with 4. I'm going to make one more. I'm going to do one that's much more super modern. This was the one that I was originally going to do, but I decided not to, because I decided it was a little too modern, and I wanted to stick with something a little bit more for the time that we're currently pretending to develop in. That was not a good series of lines. That was, nope. Alright, and so for this one, I'm going to go with sort of a menu up here. And I was going to go with the super modern one so you could see that even with the skills you already have, you can make something that looks modern. It won't respond the way that the other ones do, but you can do it. You can actually make something that looks very modern and using modern design choices, even with what you currently know. So we'll have that, we'll have a little line there. We'll have some like sort of little icons here with some text beneath them. Another divider, maybe a nice big picture down there. And a lot of these modern sites are very long now. We didn't used to do that, but that's kind of in now, is these just long sites. So we'll have some text beneath here. Actually, I don't want it that long. I want like some sort of like a picture of like a talking head or something. So we'll give this little tie here to signify that this is not just some random picture. It's a talking head. We will do what? What should we do next? Maybe some little talking box here, or some little text there, and a box there. And then maybe down here we just have... Oh, it's so hard to draw on this thing since I haven't drawn on it in so long. So here, this will be another little talking head, and it'll be like a customer review or something. And then this could be, we'll try to make it look like a girl. It's really hard on this thing, just because I haven't used it in so long. So we'll say this is sort of our... That is a terrible drawing, but that's okay. When you sketch yours out, you can make yours look much nicer. So we'll say idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, and this is idea 4. And I think for now, based on the skills that you guys currently have, you could make any one of these actually with your current skills. Maybe you don't know it yet, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go with something that's not too complex, and I think, I actually don't really like any of these to use right now. I mean, this is the one I was thinking about to show that you can do it, but I kind of want this and this. So I'm going to make one more. I'm going to make an idea 5, and that's fine. Go for it. Have lots of ideas. Do lots of sketches. So I'm going to have this, the little banner on top, and I'm going to have the menu, and I'm not going to have the sidebar. I'm just going to have content. So we'll make some text, and we'll have a little box. We'll have some more text, and that will be more or less what I'm going to do. This is going to be my idea. That was some terrible circling. I don't know why I'm not changing the color. I'll change the color to make it more obvious that I'm not trying to destroy my design. This is what we're doing, or what I'm doing. So as we go through some of these helper videos at the start of sort of wrapping up actually our first unit, I'm going to sort of use this idea as we talk about like the storyboard, and as we talk about file structure, and to some extent even creating this, making sure that you're aware of how to create your website the way that you visualize it. So make some sketches, figure out what you want to do. I mean, really right now with the skills you have, you can design almost anything the way it looks. The interactivity isn't quite there yet. You don't know how to do that yet. You don't know how to make things change or do things when you put the mouse over it, or interact in certain ways, move at different speeds. But as far as a flat static page goes, as far as like nothing being interactive, you can do all of this already actually with the skills you have. It's just figuring out how to use it, how to do it now. And so we'll get to that. So for right now, make some ideas, do something that you think looks nice and is a bit of a stretch, but that you don't feel is too crazy and might take forever, because we just want to sort of use this as sort of your first piece, your first really grasping of how to do this. So you want it to be a stretch, but you don't want it to be impossible, because you'll only have so much time to do it. All right.